Hey everybody, it's Chris from Killer Arcade Games, and today I'm going to be reviewing a new marquee I got from my Arcade1Up cabinets. First of all, let's take a look at the old one. This is my original Killer Instinct marquee. This is an Arcade Game Factory marquee. This is the first generation one they ever made as far as I know. This is the one that used to have the bottom of the marquee being a see-through piece of really thick plexiglass, or I forget what the name of this stuff's called, but it lets so much light bleed through that I decided to put some black vinyl on the bottom. Thankfully, I have a crafty wife who had black vinyl, and I was able to put this on here. It worked pretty well, but the print was just horrific. I can't knock Arcade Game Factory for the print, by the way. The print is from a different arcade maker, or arcade print maker. I'm not even going to say their name because I provided the file, and I think that may have been the problem. But either way, it was bad, and I've dealt with it for years now. I did that mod in 2018, so it's been a long time, and I finally got a new marquee. Laramie from Retro530 on Etsy messaged me and said he's making his own marquee, which was great timing since I was going to end up redoing my Killer Instinct cabinet pretty soon here actually. But I still had these old marquees. The Killer Instinct had it, and the Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet had that old school marquee. I will say the MK2 marquee actually looked pretty good as far as the print goes, and that was from Arcade Game Factory. And I've since ordered their newer marquees, and by the way, they're great marquees. Their new models are still really good marquees too, so you really can't go wrong. The one behind me, the MK4, is actually from Angel Otero Jr. on Facebook, and I'm happy with that one too. The thing that I love most about these newer marquees that they're making though is you don't have to place the light yourself. The light is actually built into these marquees, especially the one that Laramie made. So I've talked a lot about this new marquee, it's time to actually show you. Here it is. This one was already installed in the cabinet. I just took it back out. It's a very, very easy installation process. But if you want to see the marquee up close, hopefully there's not a glare. Very, very thin bezels around. I did check it, comparing it to all the other bezels that I have in here around the marquees, and this one is the thinnest. He actually prints this from a 3D printer. I guess he does it all himself, it looks like. You can actually see a little bit of that texture, that 3D printed texture, but it's not distracting by any means. One of the things I love the most is these holes on the side. They're pre-drilled out. Where is it? There it is. The holes on the side are pre-drilled out, and inside the hole is a threaded metal nut or whatever. It's just in there for you to screw these screws that come with it, which, by the way, are black screws. Very, very nice touch. Black screws that just screw right down inside of there, threaded. You're not making a hole in the marquee, and look at this thing. It's good. I love that so much. Before I would always be like, am I putting this in the right spot? I'd hate to drill a hole in my marquee, and then, whoops, it's in the wrong spot. So no need to worry about that anymore. It's all pre-drilled and ready to go. Also, if you look at the back of it, it is fully self-contained. Just the cord comes out of the back. Right back here is where I assume he stuck the light. It gives very, very even lighting. You don't see any shadows at the top, bottom, or the sides. It's a really nice marquee. I'm gonna put it back in the cabinet and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so I've got it screwed into the cabinet. You got your black screws on the side. I don't know why Arcade1Up didn't sell them with black screws, depending on what the color scheme was, but so back inside of here, I'm actually gonna flip on the light from my old marquee. This is the old marquee light. I've actually left it in here because it makes a nice little work light. Like I can actually get in here and work on the computer and anything I need to. Have the light. It's cool it's on a switch because I can just turn it off when I'm not using it and turn it back on when I need it. But he includes a Y splitter, just like all of the other marquees. Essentially, you just plug the two in and it is ready to go. And there it is installed. I think it looks amazing. It's really a nice clean color. The issue I had on my old ones was the top was always really dim because the light was installed probably too high. Probably my fault, but there was no real exact spot to install it. And this just looks amazing. You can see some glare. Sorry, Carnival's there. If you look at it really closely, the print is really clean. I mean, it's high quality, way better than my old print. I can, on the camera, see a little bit of the light bar, I guess, that's inside of there, but it's not really something you see in person. I assume the camera's just picking it up, and I don't really know how it's picking it up because I don't see it standing where I am right now, but I can see it on the camera. Let's take a look at the MK2 cabinet, which has the exact same marquee installed to it, just, of course, with the MK2 print. Same thing with this print. Let me get it to focus. Very clean print. Of course, you're not seeing how bright it is because of the camera's auto adjust. But when you back it out there, it looks really, really good. I can't complain one thing about these. Look at that thin bezel up there. I'll try to show you, yeah, see, you can kind of see it right there. And if you move over to NFL Blitz, Blitz is actually using the new school arcade game factory, and it definitely has a thicker bezel. I'm not that upset about it, it's fine, but it is cool to see that Laramie is really paying attention to that kind of stuff, and this is a super thin bezel, tiny bezels on the side. You're definitely not seeing any screw holes. I used to have that problem with the old Marquee. All right, so let's talk about the price of this Marquee. It is $69.99 with free shipping. That's a great price, I think. I think it's very fair, especially when you compare it to all the other options out there. I think he was able to keep it pretty competitive, which I think is really impressive since he's 3D printing these things in his house, or I assume it's his house, maybe he has a business somewhere, but I always thought that was really cool that he's taking the time to 3D print these. Keep that in mind, by the way, since these are printed, literally 3D printed. You may have to wait a little bit longer than usual, but that's kind of the case with all the Marquee makers. A lot of these guys are just doing it from their house and they're doing it as a side job or something, and it just takes time to get this stuff made, especially when you have a lot of orders. So give them some time to get it out to you. I really think you guys will like it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's my absolute favorite Arcade1Up Marquee you can buy. Laramie does a really great job paying attention to details. I think he's really hit it out of the park with these Marquees. He's also made my coin up buttons. I made a whole video on those. I'll link to that in the description if you want to check it out. I didn't really like the idea of having light up buttons on the cabinet, but once I saw what he was making and I saw that it was kind of confusing to people to find a black button to put coins in the game, I figured these were so much better, especially with the customized art for each cabinet. So be sure to check out that video if you're interested. Well, that's all for this review. I highly recommend these. I can't say it enough, so go check them out, order them. I think you guys will be very happy with them, but I've got a sneak preview for what's coming up down the line on the channel. I've talked about this here and there, but this is the first step in my Killer Instinct remod. It's the original mod I ever did in 2018. I actually built this cabinet in 2018, turned it into a Killer Instinct. It was one of the first two Killer Instinct Arcade1Up cabinets, at least the first two that were known, but it was definitely out there early on, and it was really cool to have this in the house, and it really sparked a new obsession. As you can see, I've got 5 of them in this room alone and another one downstairs. And I have a real arcade cabinet in my garage. It finally gave me the confidence just to say, whatever, I'm buying a real arcade cabinet. But anyway, I am going to be remodeling the Killer Instinct cabinet. New art, new parts, a few new things will be added to it. I'll do a whole video on it when the time comes. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please check out Laramie's store on Etsy. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Arcade1Up stuff. I'm going to try to start getting back into doing more Arcade1Up videos. I do gameplay videos, I do real arcade stuff. Whatever I can find that's arcade related, I try to do it because I really love old arcade games. Leave me a comment letting me know what you think of this Marquee. Which Marquee do you currently have and which one do you think is the best right now? So until next time guys, I'll see you guys on the next video.